Probably channel all sorts of settings.
Good morning, Aggie. Are you ready for your first road trip?
Alright, how's it going, YouTube? In this video, we're going to spend a couple days in Colorado. Well, 3 days. Our trip starts off with a bang because we got woke up just a few minutes before our alarm was supposed to go off by thunder. So our road trip started off in a thunderstorm. Luckily enough, a couple hours into the trip, we escaped the storm and pulled off into one of our favorite rest areas on the road between Pittsburgh and Wichita.
Into the wildness unknown, you seem to shift what I thought that I knew. Kaleidoscope, both of us changing our pattern with every spin. Oh, kaleidoscope, glass bits and pieces from planets that I've never been. I am fixated on every new shape you're making. Turn brass ring, here I am aiming to please. Comets and asteroid blues cross between us. Fall, summer, spring, steady.
After driving for several more hours, we finally crossed the Kansas-Colorado border, and we stopped off at a park in a little town called Flagler, Colorado. I'm not really sure.
Kaleidoscope, both of us changing our pattern with every spin.
Gave Aggie a really good opportunity to get out of the car and stretch her legs a little bit and do her favorite thing, which is sliding.
Bits and pieces from planets that I've never been. I'm fixated on every new shape you're making.
We drove even more and finally caught our first glimpse of the Rockies. We were all pretty exhausted by that point, so we got into the hotel room and just immediately passed out. Day 2 started out equally as early because we decided we wanted to get up and watch sunrise at Sprague Lake.
Reflections of the clouds above, the sound of rain along the pond.
Even though the mountains that we could see from Sprague Lake ended up concealed by the clouds mostly, it still turned out to be a pretty good spot to shoot, I think.
I plucked a flower, violet green, lily of the valley on my knees.
Once we finished our hike around Sprague Lake, we headed back to the car and drove back to Estes Park.
In my mind,
As we passed Moraine Park, the light was irresistible, so I pulled off and grabbed this photo.
it's too soon.
While in Estes Park, we grabbed breakfast at Notch Top. Pretty good. I had the caveman thing. It was just a bunch of everything mixed together. You know, it was pretty tasty. After breakfast, we headed back into the park to visit the Many Parks Curve. After that, we headed towards the alluvial fan.
Dandelions, rustling leaves, just like in my childhood dreams. You're as delicate as a leaf, you don't know what you mean to me.
Not my best photo, but it was still pretty fun to learn what an alluvial fan is. And then we grabbed lunch at Poppy's Pizzeria or something like that. But we didn't order pizza, we both ordered cheeseburgers.
I don't wanna lose you. It's too soon.
And then we headed to the ominous Stanley Hotel, which actually wasn't so ominous in real life. Once we were done at the Stanley, we headed to downtown Estes and hung out for a while. After that, we were all pretty wiped, so we headed back to the hotel and crashed.
We're on our way to spend the day in Boulder after a long night. Someone was scared of the air conditioning.
You feel like summer days to me, warm, tender, sunny rays. I hope that we...
Once we arrived in Boulder, we headed straight for Chautauqua Park. I realize I'm probably not pronouncing that right. And we did a real short hike up to the Flatirons.
Somehow I know your history. Oh, come what may, I'm ready. Picture frames, lavender paint. They all live here within this romance. I get the chance to stop the run and be the lucky one. Odd thoughts and some dusty dreams, and we seem to find common ground. Guess everyone's got their own sound. I never cared much about.
After that, we walked over to the Chautauqua playground and let Aggie play for a little bit. The slides were a little faster than she's used to.
For me, I'd give in. Picture frames, lavender paint. They all live here within this romance. I get the chance to stop the run and be the lucky one.
And then we had breakfast at the dining hall.
Picture frames, lavender paint. They all live here within this romance. I get the chance.
And after that, we headed back to Estes Park, and Stephanie and Aggie rested since they were pretty darn exhausted.
Just tell me I belong.
While they rested, I went for a walk and ended up down at Estes Lake.
I'm the lucky one. I'm your chosen one. Picture frames, lavender paint. They all live
decided to make dinner easy that night and just ordered some pizza. Once Aggie was asleep, I decided to head out to the Moraine Park trailhead and shoot sunsets.
To stop the run and be the lucky one.
Once the sun had fully set, I headed back to the hotel room and got some sleep. Our last day in Colorado started pretty early again, at least for me. I headed out on another solo mission to catch sunrise at Moraine Park. Once the sun had fully risen and I was happy with all my pictures, I headed back to the hotel room to pick up Aggie and Stephanie so that we could head out to Lily Lake. Once we were done circling Lily Lake, we headed back to the hotel room and grabbed some breakfast. Then we headed back into the park and did a really short hike through Beaver Meadows. We decided to make a quick stop at the Moraine Park Discovery Center, where Aggie broke some rocks. Once we were done there, we stopped off at a picnic table underneath a tree overlooking Moraine Park, and we tried to have some lunch, but it was just too damn windy. That pretty much wraps up our time in Colorado. We were pretty beat by then, so we decided to spend the rest of the day in the hotel room getting some sleep because we had a really early start to the day tomorrow. Alright, 3 a.m. hit. We decided to go ahead and get up and get moving. We loaded the car up and we hit the road. we were treated to some really pretty views of the moon over the plains on the way back. After driving for several hours, we happened upon an IHOP and decided it was time to stop and get some breakfast. Alright, well, if you've made it this far, I really appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm really looking forward to making more of these travel videos in the future. Some of them will be with my family, and some of them will be with some friends, hopefully, and a few of them will just be me by myself solo in it.